Okay,
Using the
there.
same movie for
Paused. There we go. Yeah, because Steam, for some reason, Steam like just eats up all my internet.
Well,
Just
hello
wants to-
everyone, and welcome back to 4 Pixels. Coco, Kimi, and Moon are here, and we are continuing the House in Fata Morgana, a Requiem for Innocence. And
Yes, we are.
this is our last stream of the year of 2020.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Man, it's been a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year, just like this game.
There we go.
Excuse me, is anyone home?
I knew right away that he was a new customer. No one who had traded with me before bothered with such pleasantries anymore. They wanted the process to be quick and frictionless, and I preferred it that way as well. Oh, the other sprite, that's right. Who's there? When I responded from behind the door, he seemed to be taken aback. After several moments with no answer, I tensed up slightly and repeated the question.
My sister has fallen very ill, and she desperately needs medicine.
He has a very pretty voice.
Thank you. I was told that the person who lives here is a skilled herbalist. Could I please get something to treat her?
What are her symptoms?
She's got an extremely high fever that won't come down. She has no appetite. She's only drinking water, and she can't get out of bed.
Everyone always seems to be looking for medicine for themselves. I haven't had a customer like him in some time now. We're going to want to lower her fever first. After that, get her on a nutritious diet. I'm going to give you 2 medications. Give her the first while her fever's high, and the second after it's come down.
Thank you very much.
When was the last time someone thanked me? Here's your medicine. It's powdered, so mix it with some water and have your sister drink it.
Are you not going to open the door any wider?
Is that necessary?
No, sorry. Just a second, let me get you your money.
Ah. I take supplies for my services, not money.
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. This is all I have on me today. Would you maybe be willing to accept this as payment today?
Very well. Is that a gold coin? Those herbs aren't worth nearly this much. Just who is this man? And what on earth is he doing here at a witch's cottage? In any other situation, I would have been even been tempted to look. But what if he saw me? He would think me disgusting, ridicule me like everyone else. It didn't hurt knowing that what people thought of me, but it was hardly pleasant hearing it vocalized either. And what if he decided to do something? In that moment, I dropped my guard. He could force the door open, have his way with me. He doesn't seem like that kind of man, though. Trust was about the farthest thing from my mind when interacting with people these days. I always remained on high alert, keeping a safe distance from everyone, no matter how good they appeared to be on the surface. Sorry. But for some reason, I felt strangely comfortable in this young man's presence, which was a mistake because, well, things considered. At the time, I couldn't have explained why, but in retrospect, I imagine it was largely a result of his upbringing. He spoke in a clear, well-enunciated voice. He had a polite, friendly air about him, which I could feel even through the door. It wasn't the sort of well-mannered you could fake with a bit of practice, nor the sort you encountered out in the middle of nowhere. Curiosity took hold of me. I had to know what he looked like. wasn't going to throw the door open, of course, and I had no intention of inviting him in either. Just wanted to get a little peek at him through the crack in the door. So I opened it ever so slightly wider than usual, then I reached out to take his payment.
Ah,
Oh no, he saw me.
wow, I didn't think you'd be so young. I guessed you were a little older.
Huh?
Thank you for doing business with me. And I'm sorry for not coming properly prepared. If I need any more, I'll be sure to bring supplies next time. Moon?
Hello?
You dropped Moon.
Moon, we can't hear you.
Hi.
Oh.
Computer crashed. So I will be back in a couple minutes.
Alright, you wanna take over Morgana then, Kime?
Just give me a minute to finish my toast. Sorry, I was doing something so I didn't eat before. And the... alright.
Again, I really appreciate it. Have a nice day.
You too. He saw my face, and he wasn't disgusted. He actually smiled. I was so caught off guard, I thought for a second that maybe my face had healed. So I ran over to the water basin and, a glimmer of hope in my heart, gazed in at my reflection. But the face looking back at me was the same as always, a grotesque, unsightly, patchy mess. Part of me was disappointed, but more than anything, I was flabbergasted by what had just happened. How could he smile at the sight of this face? For a split second, my mind slipped back in time 4 years. The man who had applied ointment to my face, he had never seemed disturbed by my appearance either. Not long afterward, the young man called upon my cottage again. He said that the medicine had briefly relieved his sister's symptoms, but that it had failed to actually cure what ailed her. Herbal medicine required patience and persistence before its effects manifested, I informed him, to which he responded with a sad smile. He was a handsome young man, not far from what I imagined from his voice. And the smile suited him quite well. There was a distinct elegance emanating from him. Rat clothing aside, he was about how I envisioned a fairy tale prince might look. Though I knew quite well those only existed in fiction. Real novels were terrible, miserable, reprehensible people. After a few visits, we started having little conversations outside of our business transactions. He told me his name, Mel, as well as his sister's, Nellie, and I told him mine. Mel was 17, only a year older than me.
Making him infinitely better suited to be your love interest than Jacobo.
Oh yeah. Then one day...
By the way. But I'm gonna see if I can... you keep going. I'm gonna see if I can do the command prompt thing to fix the newest blue screen type, because I have a bad feeling it's gonna hit again.
Okay.
Oof, okay. He invited me outside for a walk.
It's not healthy to stay holed up inside all the time.
It is though. We're in a pandemic.
Ba-da-da-da-da.
Got him!
You've got this beautiful lake right here. What do you say we take a little walk around the shoreline?
I was going to turn him down. but my mouth seemed to disagree with my mind, and the next thing I knew, I was taking a walk with someone for the first time in years. Although with might be something of a stretch, I kept a safe distance from him as we walked. Social distance. Mel seemed disappointed with my unwillingness to get any closer, but I couldn't bring myself to trust him that much yet. Nonetheless, it was a momentous enough occasion that I felt justified describing it as such. I'm sure I made him uncomfortable on numerous occasions during our walks. To say I acted disagreeably would be an understatement. Anytime he closed the gap between us, I stepped a little further away. Every response I gave was curt, and I repeatedly shut him down whenever he started getting wistful or sentimental. The Morgana of 4 years prior might have been a little softer with him, a little more human. Maybe she would have given him a little smile or a paw instead. Oh no, Moon's gotta go hacker man.
No, I
To fix the
can't. I
computer.
can't go hacker man. I want to, but I'm
Oh,
just gonna keep going because, and if I die again, you shall have to take my place in the circle of life. The circle of crashing my fucking computer on the reg.
Right.
But that girl was long gone. I despised the humanity that once started taking root in me, and I endeavored to be something different again. In one instance, I heard a robin chirping and said, if I had wings like a bird, maybe I could be free too. Oh wait, no, he did. He said that. I would also say that too, frankly, because if I were Morgana. To which I responded, there's not a single creature living in this world that is free.
Ooh.
Birds regularly get shot down by hunters or preyed upon by large birds.
You must be fun at parties.
She is. She was. Do you remember?
Damn it,
She
Moon.
went out to peek and got kidnapped! The idea that they are free is nothing more than man's short-sighted delusion.
Sorry, I guess.
No, I should be apologizing. I wasn't trying to attack you. I simply lack the ability to properly empathize with other people. I do not understand people. So please, if I say anything that upsets you or makes you uncomfortable, don't assume that was my intention.
Sure. Maybe you're hiding it, or maybe you don't know it yet, but I think you've got more empathy than you're letting on. Surely you can't say nothing affects you at all. You are human.
At one point, that was true. Though it was perhaps somewhat difficult for others to see. I felt great beauty in the world when I knelt before the gravestones. Such sentiments have long since been lost to me.
You don't have to be so closed off. I might not be able to do much for you, but I do want to get to know you better. I want to understand you. So if you ever feel like talking about yourself, just know that you've got an eager pair of ears here. Okay?
If there were ever someone who could understand me, if there were ever someone who could understand what I am now, who could empathize with me, who had been through trials as great as mine, they would not be human.
What do you mean?
That you would need to be far removed from any idea of humanity to have a chance at understanding me. Regardless, I do appreciate your kind words.
Sure. So, out of curiosity, do you have anyone, really important to you in your life?
Not at the moment.
Does that mean you used to? I'd love to hear about them, if you don't mind.
all long dead. 4 years ago, something unpleasant occurred. And as a result of that, I was forced to part ways with the people who taught me that humans have the capability for kindness.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well then, if your sister's condition worsens again, come see me. Farewell.
Hey, maybe we could walk a little slower next time, so we have more time to talk. I want to get to know you better.
I'll consider it.
Alright.
So long.
Bye. See you soon.
I was conscious of how cold and distant I was being toward him, but I had no interest in changing anything. Not that I even knew how to anymore. I had never known particularly well how to choose the right words, the proper way to act in various circumstances. But what little knowledge I had possessed, I'd long since lost. I assumed after the things I had said to him, Mel would never ask me on another walk again. But I was wrong. He did the very next time he came for medicine, and every time after that as well.
Hey, so I was thinking, I bet you'd make a really good singer if you wanted.
A singer?
Yeah. You've got this really pretty voice. I think it'd be nice if you tried using it to sing. I'm sorry. It's not my place to tell you what to do. You hardly talk. Why would I think you'd want to sing?
I'm glad we're on the same page. Never again.
Sorry about that, really. Anyway, I wonder who first came up with the idea to sing. You can brighten someone's day or sour their mood with just the sound of your voice. Kind of amazing, don't you think? It's almost like magic. Oh, and there are battle songs too, for getting soldiers fired up for combat.
Battle. Now there's a word I never expected to hear from you.
I mean, I am a guy. You know, we're bloodthirsty all the time. I admire anyone who has the strength to go to battle. I could never, ever do it myself, though. The sight of blood makes me sick. And I barely know which end of a sword you're supposed to grab.
Oh boy, you just wait. You're a noble, aren't you? What need do you have for knowing how to use a sword?
That's what I used to think, too. But now I think I should have gotten training. I may not have been a soldier, but I needed to be strong. I could have avoided so much if I was. And Nellie wouldn't have to live in a rundown shack in the middle of nowhere.
As I recall, he said once that he was forced from his house after a dispute over who the rightful heir was. High society sounds like endless fun.
I'm sorry. I'm sure you don't care about any of this.
No, you're fine. I'm the one who asked.
Thanks. I want you to know, I really do appreciate it. It's nice just to be able to talk about this stuff to someone.
I gotta pause this because my brain's like thinking about this. Do you think Mel actually liked her?
Yeah,
Like, romantically? Or just as a friend?
I think so. 'Cause, I mean...
Okay. So I'm getting that vibe too, but at the same time, just, you know, it kind of gets muddy
It's-
because my memory of the main game is a
I
little
mean,
fuzzy.
I guess it could go either way, but... To me, it's just interesting that Yukimasa was the only one who never had any romantic relationship with the white-haired girl. And, like, I know the white-haired girl is sort of like the, polished version, but I feel that, I do think that he liked Morgana romantically.
Yeah, that would make
Actually,
sense.
Now I'm remembering something. Well, that's because he didn't know. But I'm remembering that he did, like, ask Michelle about the white-haired girl, but that was, like, before he recalled Morgana. Like, he didn't know why he was stuck in the mansion. Like, he thought it was only about what happened during his second life.
Yeah, I remember that. He was in the brambles.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think he liked Morgana romantically myself.
Okay. You're naturally sociable. I'm sure you could find plenty of other people willing to listen.
I don't get into town much, not even to run errands. So I'm still kind of an outsider. You're my only friend right now. Like, I think when he asked her about someone, if she had someone important, he was kind of fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I hope that wasn't too presumptuous of me.
Call me whatever you like.
Oh, thank goodness. We should do this more often, really. Talk more, get to know each other better, become better friends.
To what end?
No end, just, having friends is better than being alone. That's all.
I see. I'll be heading back now. See you. Again.
Yeah, see you soon, Morgana.
Morgana's like, no! Feelings! Get out of here! I'm allergic to feelings.
Yeah. Oh, and it crushed my heart, because, like, I remember, like, when he stopped seeing her for a while, and then when he came back, and she was so happy about it.
Yeah. They can get together in their third life or some shit.
Yes, please.
And have a rom-com awkward time with reincarnated Nelly. So Nelly, thankfully, is not related to Mel in that, so that's weird.
That's I don't know how to feel about that.
I feel like that was a nicety for, let's say, preteen Nelly, who could have a crush on him without feeling wrong about it, but I think it was more like everybody gets a second chance, but Nellie's getting a scot-free second chance, so she doesn't have the incest hanging over her head if she has feelings for him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily that the idea is that she will end game with Mel by any means.
I hope not.
Well, it just doesn't make sense, it's like she's just getting a new start separate from Mel.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing was that there was, like, an implication that she saw him. And she did call him princely.
About, like, she was, like, talking about how she saw this attractive blonde-haired boy, but she didn't know who he was, and it wasn't like she was stalking him or, oh, he's the only one for me kind of thing. It was just, oh, they happened by one another.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, like, the story continued on that way, I think they would become great friends that almost have a brother-sister bond,
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
I do.
FataMor likes to torture us.
I do like the idea of Morgana and Mel, and like they're at any point, because we all know how great Mel is with talking to girls, so I can just see him like fumbling, and Morgana's just there with her hands clasped, just watching him, secretly amused, and saying nothing just to make him feel even more awkward.
He's just digging himself a deeper and deeper pit, and Morgana's just like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yes.
And then Michelle and Giselle are watching from the side like, oh my god, Morgana, put him out of his misery. What the fuck?
And she's
so
like...
Michelle is like secretly inside, haha, good.
Yes, absolutely.
Michelle is so good. Okay. Little by little, his words were getting closer to reaching the old me. Not enough to provoke an actual response, of course. But this wasn't his fault. I had locked myself up too deeply. I no longer knew how to express emotions, most especially those that resulted from human warmth. However, I had regained enough of something to feel a sort of nostalgia in my interactions with Mel. And I thought perhaps, with enough time, I could go back to who I had been 4 years prior. But shortly thereafter, he threw all of that into the wind with a single utterance.
I'll take anything at this point to make her better. I'll even take a miracle if I can get one.
Oh, Morgana. You're too nice. That's the problem.
Simultaneously too nice and too evil.
Yeah, no, that's like, it can't be helped, you know? But like right now, she's too nice. Even when she's being not nice. What the fuck? He appeared exhausted that day, much more than usual. His sister's condition had begun to worsen again. That one muttered word set off a spark in my mind. It sent me back in time, well beyond when I was taught humanity 4 years earlier, to my very origin. I was the daughter of God. My blood had healing properties, and the instant I remembered that, there was only one course of action I could take. Without a moment's hesitation, I informed him that miracles did exist, that I had been born a saint, and that my blood had miraculous powers. That after leaving the village of my birth, my power had only ever been misused, first by the Lord for his sick banquets, then by me for letting it lay idle so long. Now was the time for me to correct that. He was a kind-hearted young man who loved his sister, who deserved this blessing more than them. I told him everything. At first, he was surprised, but never once did he accuse me of lying. He listened carefully, intently, taking in every word. And when I was finished, he said he believed me. He said he would entrust his sister's care to me. I love how everybody's just literally dying of an iron deficiency, though, in this time.
Yeah.
Mel's sister slept upon a simple bed. Aw, there she is, the baby! She was a sweet little girl who looked like she would have been quite spirited if it not for her ailment. It's true, Nellie's got the spark. Both she and her brother had beautiful flaxen hair. They looked as if had both been yanked from a painting. Seeing them there. Seeing them there, I wanted to do everything I could help them, to ensure their happiness. And I knew I had the ability to do so. No longer would I be the one receiving others' charity. I could be the one giving it again. And so I made a new cut on my mostly healed arm. For the briefest moments, a flash of him applying ointment appeared in my mind, but I quickly cast it off. Oh yeah, Copo. The flaxen-haired girl showed signs of recovering as a result of my miracle. The boy came to my cottage, overjoyed, to thank me. I was extremely proud of myself. I felt like, for once, I had actually saved someone's life. I had finally been able to use my gift to help someone truly good. After the miracle, though, he stopped referring to me as his friend. Understandably so. No one could think of themselves as equals with someone who performed miracles. Awe, fear, reverence. They were all feelings that came from the same place. An inability to think of me as human, who experienced the world the same way he did. He saw me as abnormal. I had always been fine with that. It was how it was supposed to be. Being different was what I always wanted, and in some way, it was what kept me going. So seeing him put more and more distance between us shouldn't have bothered me in the slightest. But it did! I'm suffering. But I continued to offer his sister my blood, no matter how distant he grew. Eventually, he stopped inviting me on walks. That didn't matter. I would serve my duty and perform miracles regardless. he would simply knock on my cottage door and say,
My sister's fallen ill again. Would you perform another miracle?
I could hear the apprehension in his voice. No longer did he show me his gentle smile. No longer did we listen to the birds singing together. No longer was I the one being cold and distant. And no longer did he say, "See you again," when we parted ways. Yeah. Back in my village, when everyone feared and revered me as a saint, it filled me with a childish sense of superiority. There was no superiority now, only a prickling in the softened shell of my heart. I was no longer the child I had once been. I had changed. I had learned what warmth felt like. My memories of that time were vague and ethereal, but the feelings they had created lived on, deep within me. For a time, I had felt a warm familiarity around Mel, which only made me yearn for him to treat me that way again. I wanted to be able to open up to someone once more, though I never said as much out loud. Why must you make me suffer, Fata Morgana?
'Cause it's fun.
Thanks, Coco! This is all your fault, Coco. I'm telling you that right now.
I gladly accept blame. If I have to suffer, I'm taking you two down with me.
Sick, help! Like, what are we reading? Oh, it's a really sad fucking game. Okay. I'll just be in for like an episode.
It's rainbows and sprinkles.
Little did I know. Gloomy day after gloomy day passed, and then I received a new visitor. I asked them in business from behind the door, but they hesitated for a few moments before responding. My instincts told me that whoever it wasn't the noble boy, so I waited, perplexed and slightly on edge, for them to say something. And when they finally did, I was left aghast at what I heard. I think I was voicing him. "Are you the witch with the miracle blood?"
Oh boy, here we go!
Here we go! Why did he sound like the man who had slaughtered the slaves in the carriage, laughing all the while? What was he doing at my cottage? I thought he'd wandered off somewhere, never to be seen again. I thought he was out of my life for good. But why? Why did he call me a witch? And how did he know my blooded powers? Had Mel told him? Or maybe his talkative little sister had gone running around blabbing about it. I should have been clearer with them. Made absolutely certain they knew to keep their mouths shut. Please leave. It took all my strength to get those 2 words out with my voice shaking. I could hear the screams from 4 days ago, good lord. 3 years ago, echoing in my mind. I could see the limbs flying, the blood pooling at my feet. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it pulsing in my ears. Please stay away from my home. After all that time I'd spent forgetting about everything, closing myself off, finally finding peace. Why did this monster, who reminded me only of senseless violence and death, have to come back into my world? I never wanted to go through anything like that again. Sorry, I'm saving really quick because I have a bad feeling my computer's gonna crash. I am in need of your blood. Could you not spare a little? I have nothing to spare for a man like you. My blood is only for the sick and needy. So please, go away. Stay away from me. Please, I'm begging you. Get away from this place. You're a murderer. I want nothing to do with you. So please, just go away. As you say. Is he gone? Oh, thank heavens. My eyes feel like they're burning. Oh, Morgana, you have to be strong. You cannot let this get to you. Be strong. You have nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. No, stop. Bite it back. I had sworn never to cry again. Let the moment Fear released its grip on me. Everything that built up came pouring out in a hot stream. Tears soaked my face. I wiped and I wiped, and still my hands came back wet. With each passing second, I felt myself reverting into an ordinary, helpless little girl. No, that was what I'd always been. My whole life I'd just been putting on airs. When in reality, I wasn't even strong enough to withstand a little fright. I wouldn't call that a little fright. Even with the horrid man gone, I couldn't rest easy. I couldn't be sure if he was gone for good. Maybe he was just waiting for a more opportune moment to target me again. The following day, I took a brief walk with the noble boy, and I couldn't bring myself to talk to him about what had happened. With how much distance he was keeping between us, I doubted he would be willing to do anything to help. For 3 days and 3 nights, I shook in terror, thinking, considering, speculating, wondering, hardly getting a wink of sleep. I was too anxious to sit still, so I paced in circles around the chair by the fireplace. It's too soon to be sure I'm safe. I can't go outside unless I absolutely must, not even to get water from the lake. He'll be waiting in the shadows to take my life. I'm not safe here anymore. I shouldn't have said anything about my powers. It only brought me trouble. I should probably find somewhere else to live. But where? How far could I even get on my own? He could be out there, waiting for me to open the door. I would need help. Don't be a fool. No one's going to help me. The boy barely even wants to talk to me anymore. All I wanted was a quiet life. Is it him? Did he return? Calm yourself. He knocks harder than that. It's not him. Who's there?
It's me.
His sister needs more of my blood.
I'm not here about Nelly today. I'm sorry for being so distant lately.
What?
I want to talk things over.
He's finally reconsidered. If he can treat me like a friend again, then maybe I could ask him. I want to talk to you too. Oh, Morgana. I opened the door without a second thought. I let my guard drop, because in my mind, the flaxen-haired boy briefly took the place of the slave man from the brothel. The man who had saved me from the terrible lord offered me his hand, guided me into the light, and here he was again to set me free, to take me away from this place, take me somewhere new. He had pulled me from the darkest depths of despair, and here he was again, ready to offer me his hand, a glimmer of hope to cast away the shadows. So I reached out to take it. My arm went tumbling to the ground, my hope following not far behind. My arm! That's a lot of text. That's a lot of text. So much text. I'm very upset. Take it. That's your share. Oh, okay. It's right. It's him talking. Should last
Hold
you
on
long
a second.
enough. Sorry, that was Yukimasa talking.
Alright. Alright, you can continue.
Don't worry, the next thing is, just rolling text. Nothing personal. I just need your blood.
Nothing personal, kid.
Without it, she'll lose her church. She needs the money. I needed some way of getting enough money to keep her church running. So the Lord made me an offer. The Lord? Why him again? If I brought him the witch with the miracle blood, he would finance a whole new church for her. So don't take it personally. You get to be the sacrifice to keep her church from collapsing, to keep her world from collapsing. So don't take it personally, witch.
Cheers, a saint's blood and good fortune to all. You're a damned witch wearing a saint's skin.
No, I'm not a witch. After cutting off my left arm, the strange-looking man stuffed me into a sack and tied me up and threw me over his shoulder and carried me away somewhere. And while he was walking, he muttered at me over his shoulder, explaining where we were going, apparently a new church run by someone called the Saintess, and she was going to give my blood to patrons of the church, saying it was some kind of miracle elixir. But what was this nameless nun doing calling herself a saintess when I was the real saint? And why did I have to be the witch sacrificed for her sake? It didn't make any sense. And most of all, why was the Lord involved? Why did that vicious, cruel, horrible, miserable man have to come back into my life? Why couldn't he just leave me alone? Was that really so hard? Why? He already had his way with me. He had his terrible banquets, his blood sabbats. Already. What did he need with more of my blood? Hadn't he already had enough? Did he find it out it had real powers, and so he decided to come back for more of what? For more, was that it? Goodness, this is a run-on sentence. He could have just called me the Saintess instead of her. He didn't have to make me into a witch. Oh, it's because my face, isn't it? He wanted a pretty face to put on his brand new church, not an ugly scarred face like mine. That's all. She's just pretty. I can perform miracles, but I'm here with my arm cut off and stuffed in a bag. Even slaves are treated better than this. All I wanted was a quiet life, but I have this power, so I just wanted to use it to help. That's all. Oh, Father, your trial is too great. I cannot bear it any longer. I wasn't born to spend my whole life suffering.
That's Yukime.
Yeah. About time.
There's your witch.
I was just gonna say I really like like the use of
The text.
the text, yeah, like how they change the fonts, how they spread it out, and like
It
the
was
wall
really good.
text. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked that interpretation a lot.
Mm-hmm. Tell me you didn't harm her, dog. I smell blood.
You only instructed me not to kill her. Mistakes were made. Limbs were lost.
I keep loving that phrase. I should put it as my Discord status.
Do it.
Give me 1 second. Do it right now or I forget.
Okay, go. I cleaned up all the blood I got on me. No one suspected anything. That you were able to immediately recognize it as the smell of blood says quite a bit, Lord. You have killed before, haven't you?
There we go.
Bless
Excellent.
Enough yapping. She is alive, yes?
Of course.
No tears. Now that's a good girl. It simply wouldn't be the same if you cried and blubbered like a lowly slave or a whore. Dignified and saintly, that's what I need you to be. Ooh.
You guys get to trade off depending on what kind of shit's going down.
Welcome, witch. You'll be giving your blood to all my people now, not only me.
Is that you?
Oh, do you remember me? What an honor, a truly splendid honor.
How could I ever forget? How could I ever forget? All the pain and humiliation you put me through. How could I ever forget the blood sabbats and you loved so to hold? Haven't you had enough? Haven't had enough, have you? Leaving scars on every inch of my body wasn't enough for you. You haven't had your fill of my blood.
I'm thrilled to know the great saint remembers the lavish parties I threw for her. I take it they left quite an impression then.
You're the man who bound me, cut me up, called me a witch, then tried to kill me. I haven't forgotten you, even for a moment.
That's splendid to hear. I'm sure you tried so very hard to cast my memory aside. But you never could you? And you know what that means. That the scars I left all over you run deeper than anything else you've ever experienced. Look at that face, so twisted and hideous. I bet you loathe me. That you'll never be able to forgive me.
I don't care how much my father preaches forgiveness. That's the one thing you'll never get from me. I despise you with all my soul. I revile you with every fiber of my being. For every scar you gave me, I give you a lifetime of hatred. Never, you will never have my forgiveness. This man, the Lord, he destroyed me, mind and body. This man ruined my life.
I see. So I'm the one who ruined your life. But why should that concern me? Your words are as insignificant as the chirps of a dying robin. Scream and shout until your throat goes sore.
It doesn't change anything. We'll lock the witch up and proceed as planned.
Oh Father, God of heaven and earth, my life has become nothing, shattered and empty.
Good day, Lord Banier.
Not hungry. I need some time to rest, so don't bother me.
Yes, sir.
And make sure everyone knows they are to stay away from my room.
By your command, my lord.
Why? Why was she the lakeside witch? How could this happen? Ah, there must be something I can do. Some way to fix this. No, don't fool yourself, you damn buffoon. There's no fixing that. Her arm's been cut off. Her mind broken. If only that Farister dog hadn't been such a damn idiot. Then she might actually be in proper shape. Fucking fuck. I'm the one who gave the order. The only one to blame for this is me. I can spend all goddamn day regretting it, but there's no taking back what's already been done. Ah, god damn it. What the hell am I supposed to do? What can I do? I could set her free. And a doctor, yes. Find a good doctor. There's no getting her arm back, but he could at least patch her up. This is all my fault. So I'll do right by her, look after her myself. Make sure she's taken care of for the rest of her life. Are you out of your mind, Jacopo? Why would she ever want to stay with you? Damn it, I can't even stay focused. Ah.
What is there to think about, boy? You already know what you must do.
Get out of here, spirit. When will you learn your damn lesson and just stay dead, damn it? The last thing I need is a pathetic ghost constantly sticking its nose in my business.
Strong words from a man who can't even keep his head in the presence of said pathetic ghost.
Yeah.
The answer's plain as day, boy. You proceed exactly as planned. Make witch's blood into a miracle elixir and distribute it at the church. You'll take it in tithes, as well as winning the people's favor for supporting their new beloved church. It's a fine scheme.
I just remembered I looked up. Sorry, Coco.
I'm impressed you came up with it, boy.
Silence. That was before I knew she was the witch.
What does it matter? The girl's going to be dead soon regardless. Progress and growth, it always comes at a price. You need simply accept that the price has already been paid. Tell me, is the girl worth throwing the entire venture aside? Knowing you'll lose all the goodwill you made to gain from it and more?
She's Morgana's. She's my...
A child could tell you which has more value. You bear the weight of this entire land, boy. That's how it used to be. I mean, now it's like whatever. I mean, I guess it depends on the church,
Okay.
but like, have you ever seen like those baskets with the long handles? Pretty much, there is a part during the mass, actually 2 times during the mass, like near the beginning and near the end, where people will go down the rows of all the pews, sliding it down, and people just putting whatever they are able to put in or want to put in.
Mm-hmm.
You bear the weight of this entire land, boy. Don't try to cast that aside because you killed one little girl.
She's dead. She's still...
Surely you can't call that living.
She's not...
She is, and you killed her.
I did not.
The goddamn mouth.
There's no turning back. Why are you so upset about this boy? Countless slaves have perished at your command. You had the slum rats who tried to bite you slaughtered. And only now are you concerned about another's life. Surely you're not still clinging to your naive sentimentality, are you? Oh, but she's different from those disposable sacks of flesh. She's dear to me. We have so many wonderful memories together. I love her. Ew, even I'm grossed out by that.
Enough.
You've come too far to step down from the throne. No matter how much you may have cared for the girl before, it's out of the question now. You cannot have her. When a nobleman marries, it's for political purposes. Be it connections, resources, appearances, always something to gain. Taking a nameless peasant girl will make you laughing stock of the land. So lock her up and drain her until there's nothing left.
Shut your damn mouth, accursed spirit. You don't have any idea what you're talking about. You don't know the first thing about how I feel about her. The things we've shared. Wait a minute. What's going on? How the hell do you know any of that?
Took you long enough, boy.
How did I not realize? You are never the kind of man.
To speak of progress and growth. That I wasn't.
What the hell? What are you?
I've already told you. I'm the curse known as the Lord of the Land. Or if you need me to put it in simple terms for your simple mind, I am your sickness.
You're out of your mind.
No,
I
I'm out of your mind.
Basically.
I am not sick.
I'm not the one who's out of his mind, boy. This is a world of madness and disease. But not of spirits. Not yet, anyway. The throne drives all who sit upon it to madness. Power or sanity, a man can only have one. And all the faster will his grasp on his mind slip when he has no one at his side to shield him from his enemies. I am not Jean-Francois Barnier, and there's no way for you to banish the spirit. Your mind is broken, on the verge of collapse. And there's nothing you can do to stop it!
No. No. You're lying. My mind is not broken. I am perfectly sane. There's not a grain of madness in me.